Hello, gentlemen. How are we doing? Everybody doing okay? Well, I'm excited to be on here. My goodness, it feels like it's been a while. I trust that you guys are good. I trust that you are well. Um, that your week has been okay. Let me just see if we are uh, going out okay. I'm sure that some of the guys will be jumping on soon. I'm really pumped this evening just to come on here, just hang out with you guys is always exciting because of the conversations that we have. How's it with the family? How's the business? How's the job? How's your health? um, how's your marriage? How's everything? I hope everything is good. um, I just want to, oh, 1 second, 1 second. Yes, we are good to go. Well, last week was brilliant. Even though I wasn't on live. Um, we had Mr. Cheeto taking the session, and he did an amazing job just talking about the importance of consistency. And we know that I don't know whether you had a chance to have a listen. Um, if you had a listen to that session, but there's some great nuggets in there. I will encourage you to take out some time to to just have a listen to it. Um, and one of the things that I really liked about the session was where he stressed the importance of consistency um, throughout every area of our lives, and we have to be consistent um, in your marriage. You have to be consistent in your parenting. We got to be consistent in our businesses, in our jobs, in whichever area you we are talking about. Consistency is key, because without consistency, we are going we are going to see very little result. We're going to see very little result, and just think about it. Even if you have to think back on um, where you made some good progress in whichever area in your career, or in your life. If you take proper inventory, you will realize that consistency is definitely what played a big role. um, we cannot have any real results without any consistency. Now, this evening we are gonna kind of like continue um, to pick up talking about consistency, and just kind of like just make sure that we dig in, we dig deep, and we have a nice clear understanding on what it involves. And Mr. Cheeto will be running the session once again, and he'll be in shortly. But I want you to take a minute or two and just think about, because I think there are a very few. Um, if we get good in just a few things, it doesn't need to be a whole list. It it needs to be those things that really make a difference. When we get good in those things, let's talk about it. Say, for example, if you and I get good in being consistent, or the other word that I like to use, um, when I kind of like think about or talk about or consider consistency, is commitment. Because um, there is no consistency without commitment. Um, I think if I put that correctly, because for me to be consistent, I need to commit. Um, and I think consistency is just kind of like a prerequisite uh, for commitment. Um, and when we kind of like dig deep into that, they go hand in hand. They are um, they are pretty much partners, if you like, to our success, because we need the one to be able um, to see some results. To see some results. Um, Now, there, if we can kind of like think about, sorry, it just feels like I'm just all over the place because I'm trying to come up with some examples that I can recall, um, where consistency has played a major role in my life, and got me where I am today, in terms of, it doesn't matter what, whether say maybe within my marriage, that the consistency of always telling the missus, all right, I love you. Or the consistency of, or maybe always showing affection, or showing some appreciation. There are certain things that we just have to do it day in and day out, um, to make sure that um, we reap the fruit of consistency. Yeah, because that's where our success will kind of like show, if you like. Because life is, if you look at your life, if you look at my life, and you have to compare it to a tree. um, a tree is committed. I mean, uh, it's a tree won't kind of like today. It will be like, all right, I'm planted here today, and tomorrow I'm going to uproot myself, and I'm going to go and go and commit myself in another uh, portion of soil. No, that sucker sits there, and it just is. It's just solid, just staying there, um, without being moved, without and it just produces fruit, and it's consistently just there. And I think that I don't know whether that's an appropriate um, example, but I think if you and I can be like trees, man, we will start showing some fruit. We will start seeing some results. Why? Because you and I will stay in one specific area long enough. We will stay, because sometimes we just hop about. Maybe when it comes to friendships, when it comes to uh, ideas and projects, and you don't commit. You are not consistent. I am not consistent. I don't commit. And sometimes it's not even that what we are working on is. It's not even that it's not a good idea. It's not even that it is that it is. Um, it's a good idea. It is a good idea, but we don't stay. Sometimes we don't stay on things long enough to start seeing the results. Um, so how's your consistency? How's your consistency with with your family? How's your consistency with your career, with the business? Are you? It's just a question, gentlemen. Um, and me asking the question doesn't mean that I am consistent in every area of my life. No, I'm just happen to be the one that's holding the mic. I'm just holding the mic, so I'm the one just asking the question, because all of us are work in progress. And I think, oh yeah, this is what I said earlier. It's like if we can master a few things, like things like consistency, things like commitment, things like uh, courage, our faith. If we can become, that's just like a handful of things. If we can become very strong in certain areas, I think our our results will show up much quicker than what we anticipated. Why? Because I think somebody was saying that uh, it's the issue is not that we have to master everything. I mean, it's not. There's not even an option, because nobody can master everything. Um, but master something, become good in something, and I think when we make that commitment to dedicate our lives to a specific cause, to dedicate our time, our effort, our money, our thinking, if we make a commitment to to focus on a specific thing, um, it will help us to get some results beyond what we can could ever imagine. Um, so ask yourself the tough question: is are you consistent? Are you committed uh, to where you are right now? Are you are you at a place where you feel like you're not seeing the results that you're after, or the results that you would like to do, especially if you've been on a specific course for a while. You've done everything you possibly can, but it's not showing. So okay, let me share this with you guys. One of the things that has become a, if you want to call it a revelation, if you want to call it an aha moment, is that uh, I don't know. This might sound a little bit controversial in terms of, especially on this platform, what we usually talk about, uh, because we are after growth. Number one, we are after becoming better and progressing and become more as men, and obtain uh, that which we haven't had before. Um, but I've come to a realization that it's not even so much about getting stuff. It's not so much about obtaining anything. Um, I think much of life is about the experience, uh, going through the process, um, so that we can evolve, so that we can um, um, because when you go through an experience, something happens to you as an individual. When you are being squeezed, when you are being stretched in a specific area, um, something happens that nothing and nobody will be able to take away from you, uh, because there's a difference between you and I reading something in a book or watching it on a video or listening on a podcast, or somebody telling you a story. There's a difference between that and you and I walking and have and we've gone through the experience. We felt the emotion. whether you felt good, whether you felt sad or bad or whatever the emotion that is attached to that experience. You know, you've experienced it, and what was your thinking at the time when you've gone through that? Um, I think that is gold, even more so than what you obtained whilst you. I'm talking about the things that are tangible, like maybe you, I don't know, new car, house, whatever the case might be. The the real goal is in what kind of a person have you and I become when we walked the journey? What has changed in your thinking? What has changed in how you perceived things? What has changed in in your perception of life, of your reality, or whatever that reality might be? Um, because if truth be told, you and I create our own realities. The reality that you are living right now um, is has been created by you. The one that I'm living right now, whether I see it as a good thing or a bad thing, I'm the one that created that. You might not, you might think that no, it's my wife's fault, it's my children's fault, it's my auntie, my uncle, and my nephew's fault. No, it's it's you and me. It's you and, because we are sovereign beings. We can make decisions um, that is not based on what's happening around us. Uh, you and I can make decisions that can maybe sometimes shock people because the obvious decision was obvious, but you've went the other way. Why is that? Because just because you can, just because you can. Um, it's not always the maybe the right one, but try it out sometime. If you maybe have the tendency sometimes just to go with the flow and never go against the current, and trying out, never really try out new things. Um, Maybe 2023 might be the year where you are, courageous, and you might try out consistency, try out something that scares you, um, because the potential that's on the inside of you and I is mind-boggling. It's something that you and I have not even come to understand. We have not even come to fathom that. Did I do that? And yeah, you haven't even come to that place where you realize that I've got some power, some luminous power. And when I say things, when I decide to move, when I decide to um, put my hand to the plow, things change. It just change, um, and I think I hope what I'm talking is helpful to somebody. I know I'm kind of like just um, what do we call it? Um, Freestyling. Yeah, that's right. That's the word I'm looking for. We are just going on a freestyle here, but I believe that um, what I have to say is, it will be a blessing to somebody. It will be a blessing to somebody. Um, what's your plans for 2023? Um, are you planning to play small in 2023? Are you planning um, to play it safe? Are you planning to just do the normal thing and Easter will come, summer holidays will come, and then Christmas is back, 2023, and then the year is over, and then you and I will have nothing to show for the year. Um, I know just a few minutes ago I said it's not so much about what you and I obtain, uh, you know, like any, physical, tangible stuff. That's not the objective. Okay, I'm talking about for myself. We like some stuff, but I'm just going through this process where uh, we've been doing this thing in the reverse. There's a if you and I become a certain kind of person, um, because it's not that you and I go out to get stuff. It is as you focus on your growth, as you are focusing on being a blessing to other people, and um, take the focus off yourself and walk in that persona of a creator, create stuff. And that's kind of like where my thinking is over for a while now, is what can we create? um, and I think when we think about if okay, let me just talk for myself here. When I think about creating things, um, it it can easily be mistaken for maybe starting a new business or starting a new project or starting a but you see, those are things maybe that you can do as an individual. But I've come to understand that the real create when you and I when we really create is when we when we create, not I. Because there's a sermon that I've preached, I think is it last year or the beginning of this year. uh, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that scripture that's talking about when God made everything in the earth. He made the plants, he made the animals, he made whatever, everything. He just made. He said, and he said, and he just spoke and he spoke and he spoke things into being. But when it came to creating the human being, he said, let us make man, meaning speaking to into the Trinity, God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So we can create as individuals stuff. You can create, you can, but if you want to be a co-creator, it means that you come together as a people, as a community, as a group, um, and that's where real creation takes place, is when different minds come together, the same way the Trinity came together to create man. When we come together as a community, we come together as whatever kind of a group, and you create something, that will become a blessing to humanity, and it can go far beyond what you and I would ever be able to imagine. Why is that? Because um, that is the will of God. The will of God is for us uh, to create things that will bless humanity. Um, And I think when you step into that kind of a thinking, you you stop being competitive. You stop uh, being in a place where you feel like you have to prove yourself to anybody, or you have to outdo anybody. Just be yourself. That's how liberating that is when you come to realize that I am Kendrick. I don't know what your name is. I am. And the thing is, when you and I can say that, it's almost like you come to realize that what you are carrying is unique to you, and and you just want to share. You just want to be a blessing to those around you. Um, why? Because you can. Um, and I think that really requires some form of growth. It does require you and I stepping outside ourselves, and I think that's kind of like sometimes that's the challenge, isn't it? Because um, we are sometimes so much in our own way that we can't see clearly. Why is that? Because um, we trying to be something that we are not. Um, well, my brother is in the house. Let me just add him here. Let me add him here. My friend,
Oh, hello everyone.
my friend, are you,
I'm
you are back. I'm so glad to have you. I was just like rattling on here.
I'm really really sorry. I had
No,
a
that's all good, sir. That's all good. That's all good. Good to
oh,
have you. Thank you so much
that's great.
for jumping on.
That's
Uh,
great.
yeah, I was
Thank
sorry.
you so much for holding brief.
No,
And apologies guys for maybe failing. That's how the Lord wants it, I think, today. I've got to carry on from where you stopped, isn't it?
well, please. I don't know whether you've managed to catch anything, but I was just
Thoughts about appearing the same all the time. That's the game of consistency.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
still on that topic. I don't know if it's what you were talking about earlier, but then I'd like to sort of continue to
yeah,
dwell on that topic because
yeah. Go for
uh,
it. Go for it.
we the way we appear affects the type of people who come to do business with us, the
Mm,
people who want to relate with us. I've just the meeting I've just come off now is I was talking to one professor in America. We just had one interaction, and I saw his behavior, and I've watched him online. There is a certain level of consistency that I'm seeing, whether it's in the principles, in the things he talks about, in his lack of bias in looking at situations and so on and so forth. And somebody approached me for something, and I say, I know somebody.
mm,
I will recommend that person. And that's a very good example of what people expect or what the advantages of consistency is. Because the world is changing. It's changing every day. There are so very few people in the world that can that can appear the same way that they have, because there's pressure in the family. There is a recession. Someone is saying the recession is coming. In fact, the next 2-3 years, we might end up all living outside. All those things, they come in and they impact how we show up. But you know what the difference is for us as Christians?
mm,
And if you're not, by the way, and you're watching, you need to become a Christian. That's a short one, because there is hope, whatever it is that's going on out there, and it's that hope that from that hope that our faith is built up, because we believe that whatever happens, whatever the situation, that our issue will be, our lives will be taken care of, that there is going to be a way, that we serve a God who is looking after us. And that gives us encouragement, because when you don't have hope, that's when you go out there and you think, oh, if I don't dupe this guy off this 500 pounds, that might be my last opportunity to get money this month. And then you go out there and then you dupe. Or if I don't lie to this guy, then that opportunity I want to get, I will not get it. But our help comes from God who made heaven and earth. You have to have that. That stops you. I keep telling people, when you don't have all this hope, it will change your behavior and it will change your opportunities, because people will now see you as inconsistent and therefore they will not deal with you. And sometimes I relate this to how things are in Africa. And sometimes some people are not, because some people get away with murder, literally. So there is nothing to stop us from behaving in a certain way, because we know, if he can do that and get away. And that's the other thing. But if we serve a God who we are indebted to by the way we live our lives, then we can appear every day, not by looking at what people are doing, not by looking at how other people are showing up and how they are succeeding by doing the wrong things, but by the promise that we have, by the fact that we need to keep to our own obligation as children of God and try to show up, whatever it is, and be resilient and be planted like a rock that is there. We're standing on the rock, that nothing is going to shift us. There's nothing, that whatever the situation that we find ourselves, that they can't separate us from the love of God. And that whatever it is temporary. It has a time, it's going to expire. When we have all this knowledge, we fill ourselves with all this knowledge, then appearing consistently, showing up in a certain way all the time, now makes the difference. And the difference it makes is,
I think we lost him. We lost you there for a second. Chiro, you are muted. You are muted, Chiro. Okay, I'm going to kick him out quickly, and then I think he will come back. All right, because it's no use for him talking, and then we don't understand or hear what he's saying. So let him come back in, because he was muted. All right, so there's some brilliant nuggets that my brother is spitting out there. So let him come back in the next couple of minutes. And if you just notice, he was just emphasizing on the importance of consistency. And let's see, let him coming back in. Let me just drop him a text to let him know. All right. Hopefully, he'll come back in shortly. Yes, guys. So that's where we're at. We yeah, Chilo, if you can hear me, just come back in, sir. I had to. You were talking, but we couldn't hear you, so I had to. I had to make a decision. How do I get you to listen? Yeah, but hopefully you're not having any technical issues and having any problem to come back inside. But yes, guys. So consistency. We cannot stress it even more than what we are doing right now. If you and I continue to be, whether you are or whether you're not consistent, if you are consistent in whichever area, just continue to grow in that area, continue to to maintain that. If you are not, or if you are looking to um, become more consistent in any other area, then uh, just start working on that. My brother was doing such a great job now. I think he's having some technical issues. Um, can you jump back on? Okay. All right, that's fine. If you can make it back on, then that will be brilliant. If not, then I think you got what you needed for today, gentlemen. Well, I did. Even within that 5 minutes that he was on here, and I guess I was just speaking from my heart earlier. I can't even remember what I was saying. That's because I was just kind of like just free flowing on that one there. But hopefully that whatever I've mentioned was helpful. Uh, but I think 2023 is going to be an interesting year. It's going to be a year where we're going to have to make sure uh, we just go after whatever it is that we're looking to do without uh, without holding back. Um, grow a little bit more every day in being consistent in the specific area. Increase in your courage. Um, don't be afraid to try something new for 2023. That dream that you've been sitting on for the for the past 10 years. Um, don't maybe this maybe this year, 2023 might be the year where you can start working on that. Don't don't undermine the potential that's on the inside of you, um, because it's um, um it's your time to shine. It's your time to step out, and don't be afraid to be rejected. Don't be afraid to be laughed at. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to um, look. Can I say it? Don't be afraid to look stupid. Don't be afraid to look like an idiot. Um, Silly. Let me use a better word. Yeah, but it's true. It's true. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid about that, because it will require some courage, and for you to be able to step out, um, and do what needs to be done. All right. So I don't think Cheeto is jumping back on. I think he's having some technical issues. Um, but listen here. Uh, I hope whatever that was shared over the past few minutes was helpful, and just take what you can from there. You know, add it um, to your to your journey. Whatever you think it was, just I don't know what Kendrick was talking about. I don't know what Cheeto was talking about. Um, but you know, just see what you can use from there. Um, but I think we can do this. We can do this, gentlemen. Uh, we can make things happen. We have the power to make things happen. We have the potential. We have uh, the the resources. And even if you don't have the resources, when you are uh, in a forum like this, where there are different gifts, where there are different talents, different minds, different way of thinking, then whatever your dream is, we might be able to help you to see that come into this reality. So, but listen here, I think we already are almost at the top of the hour. Um, let me see. I will. Uh, yeah, let's call it a night. Let's call it a night. It was great to be on, you gentlemen. Um, I will. I'm looking forward to catch up with you guys again. As I said, hopefully this was helpful. Let's do it again next week, and have an amazing week. All right. So go out, conquer, and listen. As you continue to grow, as you continue to plow into your dream, as you continue to do what you've never done before, uh, as you do it little by little, um, you will come to realize that your confidence will grow, and you will come to understand that you got this. All right. See you guys soon and have an amazing week. Bye bye now. Bye.